3 years ago.
3 years
He's
ago.
been on the show a
During
couple
COVID
times.
time, yeah.
I mean, from
Yeah.
way back during Olympics, World Championships, and I mean, he has seen it all, and he has, I would say, a knowledge in almost every sport because he
Yeah.
deals with athletes overall and the mental fortitude, psyche, all of
Yeah.
that with athletes. So,
Of course.
I mean,
And also, I think he has a big announcement
well,
to premiere here, right here on
well, I
Primal.
guess we saved that for him
Of
later
course,
on in the
of
show.
course.
But before that, we will interview national squash champion in a couple of minutes,
Yeah, Lewis Walters.
Mr. Lewis Walters,
Yeah.
who last weekend captured national senior squash title at the Ligani Cup.
Ken, what do you think about squash, though?
Squash brutal.
You think it's more brutal than badminton in terms of fitness?
Fitness?
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Which is worse? What is a squash?
Yes.
Constant moving and change the
And
direction.
that ball, and I mean, the force of strength you use, hit the ball because they whack that ball in. And it seems like they're whacking it, but you know, there's technique to it. But squash, I dabble around other racket sports.
Yeah.
And trust me, I don't know if I don't have the technique right, but my shoulder kind of feel like it want to swing out a couple times.
But it look confusing, though, you know. And the one thing about squash is like hockey, you know, you want if the person can lick it with the, you know, with the racket or the stick, you know,
No,
because
once you reach a
they're in
certain-
so close proximity.
Once you reach a certain level, you know, you know how to
Obviously.
move around the court.
Obviously,
I
obviously.
consider myself a B-class squash player. Now. I should play one of these national championships one at a time. But overall, all racket sports has its
Difficulties, of course, and technicalities and all of that, yeah.
The other day, last weekend, I tried pickleball.
Yeah.
I know Peter's take on pickleball. I said it last week. I want to hear him again this week because he's posting some stuff.
And it's taking off in Jamaica. Wouldn't you say pickleball is one of the... Yeah.
But Peter has his views on it. I mean, as we're in post, it's not in the primal groups where Facebook, all of that, an impersonal page. So if you're not an impersonal page, you won't see those messages.
Okay.
And I said, Peter, what are you saying about pickleball? I can't understand that. So I want to hear his take later on pickleball. But overall, I mean, all racket sports, I mean, as I said, badminton, squash, lawn tennis. I mean, we've interviewed a couple of lawn tennis players, and even up by the pickleball. See,
Yeah. A lot of the lawn tennis players, the national representative here.
And
Yeah,
couple table tennis players as well. Like
obviously, the national table tennis player, but you had Simon, I see up there every Saturday of late.
Not every Saturday. I mean, I've only been there twice, but it's an interesting sport.
So people, if you want to see the national level, you know, come out to the pickleball up by Barbican.
Pickleball is fun. And people have...
Yeah.
I see some people who just learn just to get the ball over and all of that. I know I have that competitive edge, so playing pickleball, I try to, you know, venture into how to get better. Because some people playing on a court acting like they're tough, you know.
Yeah.
And coming for them, you know. Because, you know, we don't just play, we try to conquer. So
and I see a lot of ladies who have, I don't even know if they know the right from the left, but they seem to can manage the pickleball much better than the regular sport, you know.
I see a lot of ladies up there.
Of course.
Ladies looking good. So
yes.
Once you're up there looking good, I mean, I'm good with that. But yeah, we'll interview Lewis Walters in a couple of minutes.
Like now?
Yeah. He'll be on shortly.
All right. So let us welcome our current national squash champion, Lewis Walters. Welcome to Primal Sports.
How you doing, guys?
We're doing good, and I mean, last weekend you captured the squash national senior squash title. Is this your first title?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've played the event 3 times in total. Lost out in the final twice. That was, I think, back in 2014 and 2015.
Oh, 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Maybe Chris Binney at that time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And Binney win number what, 10 straight?
I don't even know, but I mean,
yes.
Yeah. But we know we have interviewed him before, and we know his track record. But I mean, you now capturing the national senior squash title. Tell us how that went last weekend for you. Take us through the rounds.
Yeah, it was good actually. I mean, really happy with how I played throughout the event. I think, you know, the big thing playing in Jamaica compared to everywhere else is like the heat. You know, it's definitely like most of the time when I'm playing, I'm in the UK, so the weather's a little bit different to say the least.
Yeah.
And then it was really happy with how I played. You know, first couple rounds were relatively straightforward, and then I played Taj Lumley in the semis, who he's improved a lot. I think he's training in Florida now. So, you know, he's kind of aging and kind of maturing. So that was a tough match. And then playing Bruce in the final, who I've played a lot of times actually. Like we're similar age, so we played kind of going way back. But he ended up having a really tough semi-final. So I think that kind of played into that favored me quite a bit because he was tired going into the final. So I wasn't complaining.
In the finals?
3-love. Yeah.
3-love. Okay.
Yeah.
So he had a tougher semi-final than you, and then in the final you just came out on top.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
yeah.
You and him had a lot of battles in the past.
So we played a couple of times in the past. I think maybe in the semi-finals previously when I played. And I can't remember this. I think it was either 3-1 when I played him previously. But he's a really strong, fit guy, and like I say, in Jamaica, it's tough because of the heat.
He's used to the temperature out here.
Exactly right. Yeah, he plays at Ligony all the time. So
yeah. So you come on the home ground and you just dominate.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
and then in the semis, what was the score in the semi-final as well?
3-love. So all my matches were 3-love actually. So was happy to. I mean, going into it, I wanted to make sure I spent as little time on court as possible. With the heat. So
I can relate to that because I remember trying to win a national championship before, and I was telling myself I'm not going to drop a set, but I did drop a set. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that was just only in one game. But usually those tournaments are even harder when you're the favorite going in, and then expecting to win certain matches don't necessarily go that way. But luckily for you, as I said, I wouldn't say smooth sailing, but it went according to plan.
Yeah. Like I said, like going into it, being the number one seed, I wasn't sure because obviously, like the other younger guys that are training now and sort of, they're trying to play professionally. Like I wasn't sure, me being older now, how I was gonna how my body was gonna cope with that. But was happy to get through all the matches sort of I think all the matches were under sort of 40-45 minutes. So I was
You're speaking like you're an elder statesman, like you're one of
I'm 37 now, so yeah.
37, you don't look it. I guess the racket sports keep us young because I'm around that same age, and last week somebody told me like 26. So
exactly. I'm not complaining.
I'll take it. I guess the racket sports keep us young because you don't look 37. Trust me. Yeah, but the racket sports is good. They said we live longer when you play racket sports. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I saw that stat. I think it came out on the internet maybe a few months ago, right? Yeah, racket sports keep you young. So yeah, that's the main reason I'm still playing. So
same here. Keep us young. So why that gap though? You said you played in 2014, 2015.
Yeah, so back then I was playing professionally. So I was playing full time back then, and then I stopped playing full time, ended up playing part time, and then I was coaching. And then during COVID, I actually stopped playing completely and switched. I started a business, so I've been sort of working on the business for the last few years, and then maybe 2-3 years ago started training again, and kind of thought I should probably. I haven't got that many years left to try and win it, so I was like, I should get back into the training. So yeah, that was why there's been such a big gap. I think like the last time I was in Jamaica before last week was probably, I think it was 2019. So yeah, that was why there's been such a gap in between the nationals. So
later on the show, I'll ask our resident psychologist why athletes always seem to come back. Cause I mean, I guess it's just part of us to always keep playing whether we stop or not. I guess it's just a part of us. Because I myself retired and I came back and I'm playing now. It's just itching just there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same for you to be like, I still have something left in the tank.
Exactly, that's the thing. Yeah. I started playing a lot back in London, and I was just sort of like, I kind of feel good on court, and there's no reason why I shouldn't give it a go and try and at least win one nationals. So yeah,
trust me, I can attest to that. Trust me.
So what's next for you?
What is next for me? Squash wise, there's a lot of squash events coming up there's two big events for Jamaica coming up this year, which I need to confirm. Hopefully I'm going to play both of them. One of them is the Pan Am qualifying event, which is in Rio in August, and then we've got Caribbean Champs, which is actually going to be held in at Ligony in November. So two big events for squash.
Nice, and you'll be competing in those events.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, so there'll be singles events, Pan Ams, there'll be doubles as well, and then there'll also be a team event. So hopefully, like I think if I play and like the depth now with sort of Taj and Adam and Bruce, we've got a good chance of winning the Caribbean champ, the Casa Caribbean champs as a team. So that would be cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so is Benny retired?
Yeah.
Vinny, I speak to Vinny quite a lot. Yeah, Vinny's
Yeah.
currently retired, but we're
Okay.
trying to unretire him for a bit.
It don't seem he got that itch as yet, because the itch is
No, yeah,
always there.
he's a little bit younger than me, so I think maybe it will maybe hit him in about
Maybe
a
when he
year's time.
mature a little bit more, he realize I
Yeah.
still have a little bit left. I still have a little bit left. But yeah, it's good to see. I mean, you're back in the sport now, and I would say leading the charge, because you seem to be the most senior player right now in
Yeah.
the Jamaica setup, right? Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. I think Bruce is I think he's maybe 2 years younger. Maybe he's 35, I think. And then the other guys are all quite a bit younger. They're all sort of 24, 25. So yeah. Me and Bruce are the senior.
So we talk about the current now, and I mean, we're looking to the future, and you competing later on in the year. But let us rewind a bit now. Let us tell us how you began in the sport of squash. Because why squash? How did squash come about? I mean, squash is not that popular, so to speak, but I mean, just like table tennis for me. But I mean, I guess it's your calling. So how comes squash came?
How did it come about? It was pretty random. Like I never wanted, like I didn't kind of grow up similar. I didn't grow up wanting to be like a squash player. If anything, it was probably more like football or tennis. But my dad used to take me squash quite a bit when I was a kid. Just me and him would go and play. And then in the UK, we actually ended up joining a squash club in Nottingham that happened to have I think they probably had 4 or 5 of the world's like top 20 squash players like training there. And so it was a big base for like all the professionals in the UK. And so as a kid, I would have been 12, 13, just going down and hanging out, and it was a good environment for me to kind of get into it. And then obviously like made friends there, and then just started. Again, like wasn't like I wanted to be good at squash. I just started hanging out at the club because it was something to do. And then the next thing I know, I was I think I was top 3 in Europe by the time I finished juniors. And then it was then I was kind of by that point I was training pretty much full time anyway, and kind of decided to go into playing full time, which was was tough, like the amount of training, the amount of traveling, which when I think the big thing is the traveling. Like when you're young it's great because it's all new, but the amount of hours you spend on a plane and jet lag is gets tiring as you get older, that's for sure. But that's how it came about.
I like how you casually move from just playing at 12, 13 to top 3 European junior. Just casually said that without giving us more info on
more. I mean, there's a lot of time spent.
Casually. I mean, I have to ask how. I mean, as a junior, yes, you're top 3. Continue. You just casually just said I couldn't leave it at that.
Yeah,
so after being a top 3 junior, you break into the senior ranks.
Correct, yeah. So, as I think probably when I was about 17, 18, I started playing a few senior tournaments to kind of get used to playing against the seniors. And then, turned professional when I think it was 2007, maybe. So started playing professionally, traveling around. I mean, like, I remember, like, I hadn't put that much thought into it. I was just like, I'm going to enter some of these events and see how it goes. And then, that quickly became sort of, my life and traveling around and playing. And then from a professional standpoint, I got to 90 in the world as a professional when I was playing full time. So but I mean, I obviously skipped through a lot of bits there, but there's a lot of a lot of training.
There's a lot of inroads, but we'll get the picture. I mean, and I mean, we have to big up Mr. Walters, your father, because he basically put the racket in your hand, and then you at that facility. With top players around, you just use that as a feeding ground to make a career out of being a squash player.
Yeah, definitely, which was very sort of, I mean, it's still unusual for squash, but it was even more unusual back then.
Yeah. But I mean, so
all right.
So very interesting, and I'm looking forward, as I said, Caribbean Championship
in November,
Pan Am Championships. We will be calling you and contacting you because we need to get feedback. We need to get squash out in the open, because people call sports like squash, table tennis as minor sports. We don't see it as minor sports. We see it
Hey, man.
He was in the Commonwealth team.
You are the Commonwealth Games, yeah.
Yeah, so 2018 Commonwealth team in Gold Coast. So yeah, who else is here? Yeah, so I was there. Yeah, that was 2018. So that went really well. Like me and Chris Binney were both there, and we both outperformed our seeding. So it was a really good event for us and Jamaica squash in general. So yeah, looking forward to Pan Am champs and CASA. So yeah, should be good.
Yeah, man, and congrats again for winning your first national title here in Jamaica. And all the best for the rest of the year. Yeah, man.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, thanks for having me on. This was great.
We'll keep in contact because we'll have you on later in the year to know what's going on and keep abreast of things in the squash world.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
All the best, as my co-host said.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Speak to you soon.
Yeah, man. Respect. Yeah, man. Bye-bye. That was Louis Walters,
current national senior squash champion.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
That concluded over the last weekend, along with Miriam Mahfoud in the female category. So as we're moving along, we'll jump right into our next interview.
Yes, man.
Dr. Scott Hamilton, our resident
sports psychologist.
He's part of the primary team. So much things with accolades we can name.
Yeah,
but
man.
He's with us here in studio, and from his in studio, you know what time it is.
There's one thing before you go, Mr. Doctor. You promised me Hakeem Elijah one for about 4 years now. I'm going to hold you to that tonight. Hakeem the Dream. One of the greatest ever touch the court.
Listen to my man. He's my classmate. I will quicker get your Shaq
Shaquille O'Neal.
than get the Dream. The Dream hard. But I go to Houston every now and again.
Yeah.
And Nigeria has taken over Houston because of Hakeem.
Yeah.
Big Nigerian coming.
Yeah.
Hakeem could play football,
Yeah,
of course I know. Started
play
play football, but before basketball. Yeah.
That is, I would love. I'm going to keep on it.
And I think Hakeem Elijah is the most underrated.
Listen, man, I want to speak to that man.
Yeah.
I want his opinion both on the past and the present. The current state of basketball.
That is who Jordan fear. He never fear nobody.
I know that.
Like
yeah.
Footwork like Hakeem had on the court. To me, this is my hot sports take for me.
Yeah.
Like, everybody have them sports takes where people say, how could you say this? How you mean that? Like Mayweather is the greatest, and be like, oh, Mayweather can't be this. Hakeem, for me, is top 5 all time.
I put him in my top 5 as well.
NBA.
Of
And I have him over LeBron James.
Easily.
And a lot of people, not me for this, but that's just my take. And I watching NBA, I think he's one of the most skilled NBA players on both ends of the court.
Of course.
Defense and offense.
Defensive player of the year.
Top 5 in both.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell both of you something so I'm just like a young youth on college campus. And it's the following year that we go to the NCAA final. But one summer, so I get there, it was in 83. And Moses Malone, I used to come and go in the Hafizah arena and watch Moses Malone alone with Hakeem Elijah. And Moses, I beat him up, beat him. Me say, that's how he became strong.
Yeah.
You see, the next year, the Dream show up.
Yeah.
And went straight to the NCAA final.
Yeah.
But Moses Malone is a big part why that man is one.
Yeah, a lot of the former players show a lot of respect towards Moses Malone. Yeah, man. I hear them big him up a lot. Most of us probably didn't see him play.
Yeah.
The younger generation wouldn't have seen Moses, but I hear them. Moses was a bad man down there in the faith, man. Yeah, man.
Titles, all of that.
It was like a Charles Barkley before Charles Barkley.
Because
he's not that tall. He's not 7 foot.
But I'm rough though.
The man that got a restaurant, man, must move out of the way.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So now it's back to you now, right? I hear you have something big to announce to us, but before, tell us what have you been up to over the past year or two?
All right. Big to announce. I more prefer say big to announce is I coming back home.
Yeah.
That's what I want more prefer say.
No place like home.
Yeah. Why? No.
No place like home.
I might not clear when I go home if I tell you why.
Yeah.
So, me and Peter, we're getting up in age. So, it's where you want to finish out this work thing. What you're talking about is I became the first Jamaican PhD to graduate from the IOC's elite program for the treatment of mental health in elite athletes. I thought I didn't think it was going to be that hard of a program. It was actually harder than my PhD. And I had to pay a couple £1,000, first of all, to get in. And then I had to provide my license as a clinical psychologist. I have to provide my PhD. Then I have to provide them with 5 letters of recommendation. Then they have to interview me. This is the top of IOC. So it's a British journal.
Yeah.
This is screening.
Just screening before you get in.
All of the people at the British Journal of Sports Medicine, them screening you. So you get into the program, and they said, this is not you're buying a certificate thing from the IOC, you know. The majority of you will not pass. So you mean majority of us will not pass. So it's when I get the deal when I take the first exam. And I never do so well. I said, me not in no failure group. No talking. Yeah. First, I'm pay so much euros and pounds. No, man.
We're a bit like that.
No. So I get the final exam. So it was a 2-year program. The final exam, I got one of the highest scores in the cohort. 42% of my cohort passed. So when I had the graduation in Geneva, Switzerland, the 28th of October last year, we find myself over to the IOC and go to the graduation. And if you've ever been to the headquarters of the IOC in Geneva, Switzerland, anybody?
No.
You know how back in the day the Olympics was on Mount Olympus?
Yeah.
Well, it's like an actual mountain kind of thing. You have to walk. I say,
You have to walk, go.
when you reach up to someone, you're tired, stairs upon it, like you go up the Great Wall and try to tie it far. But the graduation ceremony was nice. And in the ceremony, because I reside in the parish of Miami, they said Dr. Jason Scott Hamilton from the USA. I just go up to the MC man and say, look, try work out that again and say it one more again. Dr. Jason Scott Hamilton from Jamaica.
Which is
Yeah.
right. Right.
Don't get it twisted.
Of course.
Yeah, so my classmates laugh after that, but they're on film, so you can't come on.
Yeah.
And people see that and say,
Yeah,
oh,
I
come
mean, all right.
and you're a black
I wonder if you switch over and
No,
that kind of thing. And
no.
yeah.
All right, let me just come on for that topic before we can go.
Yeah, but we know what time it is.
Of course.
The roots is the roots.
Yeah,
man.
You reside there, but you'll always be Jamaican at heart, and you still work with Jamaican athletes.
All the time.
All the time.
One of the sweetest things to hear, and you guys don't, you take it for granted because you live here, is when you're listening to people speak, everybody sound like you. You
Yeah,
understand?
I get you.
I play football all the way in Miami. So on weekends, majority of people them sound like me. But Miami, the parish of Miami, sound like Spanish.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's a nice feeling when you're home, man. Yeah.
I hear you touch on mental health. What's doing your course? What's the biggest thing they say that is contributing to what's happening now?
Funny, there's two things. Social media is having a real big impact. So there's a thing that the IOC came up with, is a sports mental health assessment tool. I don't want to give away too much. Man could like cheat. That test you do. But the thing is that it can pick up for suicidal ideation, depression, all kind of things.
Yeah.
And certain countries don't have as much because their choices are limited.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Them have to just go to the river, go get some water, and them have to go trees.
Them live more natural.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah.
But then this whole heap of choices you have,
Problems.
it's too much. And then now you as an athlete, what you want to do is to take your conscious mind out of the sport activity. I'll give you an example, quick. Say I tell you, say I'm going to pay Kenan Dale 25 million US to be in the national arena. Everybody will love you when we at the arena. And so it's 25 million. You get one chance to do it. And it's to tie your shoelaces. right? Majority of the time when you tie your shoelaces, you all think about other things, because you know if you do it. So it's your unconscious mind doing it. Know that I put 25 million on you. Everybody will watch you. And then we are going to stream it. So everybody will laugh after you when you make the mistake. You know, so the day of the thing, you're not tie the shoelace good.
Yeah, because
You've brought a thing that is unconsciously done into your conscious mind. Now you're going to give yourself problems. You follow? Athletes perform. It's the subconscious that do the performance. What I mean, right? Go off, you run. You know how to do it. If you think too much, what if I fall start? Then you hear say, what if I fall start? Guess what you're about for them. Fall start.
Yeah, because
Just when I play, sometimes I say, service ball short. Or don't service ball off. Most of the time when I tell myself that,
You serve it
I serve the
down.
ball off.
Yeah.
And then, but when I'm in that form now,
Yeah.
serve just act naturally. Just
Yeah, flow in the zone.
Table tennis is reaction, right? If you were to think to play table tennis, it'd be a foolishness you're playing. Because you have to put my left foot here, put my right hand up here. So
Yeah.
reaction.
Reaction. That's so that you just, this is subconscious.
And I heard at the last Olympics, Stephen Francis was calling for the ban on all cell phones.
Social
Yeah,
media.
well, it's really cell phone. Yeah,
More so,
him really want to take
What
with them
use the
phone.
cell phone and do, yeah.
And I was one of them who I agree with him. You know, take away the phones. I think they would have performed much better without the cell phones.
Listen, it's not even a
Some
tricky
people
subject.
disagree with him, you know,
It's not even a tricky subject for me.
Yeah.
There's especially this IOC, there's documented scientific evidence, teams, Champions League, everything. When was it? West Indies 2013, 2016, when we won the T20, right? Them have a big bag. I don't know, it's like mesh in Mekota. All phone have to go in there now.
Yeah.
All phone have to go
Yeah.
in there. So that is when me know it's a crampy. Gail, they put a different level of cell phone from me. A 2-phone cell crampy, and then go like coming like your BMW outside the 640. The most expensive phone I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, crampy phone. I don't play. You can't buy them full of T-Mobile. Phone is still at Dubai. You understand? But every
man.
phone had to go in there because the thing is, when we get in the clearance to be a part of the sports medical for the West Indies, out Scotland Yard and all kind of thing have a test, you know. And what they want to know is, can you be trusted? Because you in the background and know the batting order for the next day, you know. You see, as soon as I come out of the test, a little junk man down at Queen's Park come out to me and say, hey doc, you know if Pollard will play tomorrow? It's a big man, you have to go ask Pollard that, you know. I know, so the youth that was sent is a test that, you know.
Yeah.
The man not even drunk.
Yeah.
You know me say, yeah man, I'm a bad third.
Problems.
Bad third. You know, and that day them done work. Because in India, all them players, the man
Gambling
have
for
a
everything.
gamble pan out.
Batting on
Man and
everything.
put on the glasses with the upside down. Joke.
Yeah.
But even so, players, I would say players are more skilled now across all sports. But I think even so, overall, most players are mentally weaker.
Yeah.
But compared to back in the 80s, 90s, for example, if you look at the NBA or footballers or any sport, I think they're
weaker.
they're tougher back then.
Back then, of
than
course.
they are now.
I watch it. Why is that? Back then, when Peter happened to beat you in a table tennis game, I go down to the 2 hours inside the seat. If Peter happened to beat you in a table tennis game and they put you to
Oh, gosh.
1 million
Nobody
people
knows that,
laugh
yeah.
after you.
That won't happen.
I know
Can't
it's
make
not
that happen.
happening.
Can't make that
I just
happen.
using that example. You get to
Yeah,
say, dear, you like how I do that, so you get Peter.
Yeah.
All right, so it's not happening.
It's not happening in public.
That
you
can't
know.
possible.
Not right now. Not right now.
No.
So
That was 20 years ago.
the thing is, there are more people. You understand? First of all, them younger, prefrontal cortex not fully developed in the male till them is 25, in the female till them 21. Them feelings easy to forget hurt. You understand? Yeah, I would agree with the tougher back then. My father kicked with my foot and back.
So that means that means in terms of the application, Kane said that the skill level is higher now, but the application is nowhere near what it was back in the days.
Lawn tennis players to me, they seem mentally
With them
weak.
apply themselves in actual game type situation.
It's boding well for me and my profession.
Of course,
You
of
understand?
course, of course, of course.
I am a licensed clinical psychologist that I go to school for. And my wife said, you crazy. So you know what I need for talk to know crazy people.
Yeah.
So the sports where you like. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to do some more sports psychology thing. And the thing is, Naomi Osaka, Simone, but it's a different time.
Yeah.
And the pressure
It's different.
Different, yeah.
I was in Tokyo with I was in there the day when she just said, no, I'm done.
So would you say that is them put the pressure on themselves? Because you can avoid it.
The pressure is put on pressure is put on them by themselves.
yeah.
But there's also the pressure. You know, when you're playing, when you're representing your country, you know, all right, you see this place here that we born, Jamaica.
Yeah.
It's one of the hardest place in the world
Yeah.
to represent.
A lot of naysayers.
I say it all the time. If Bob Marley ever come back alive, go a sting. A horse. I can't sing so good. A Guinness or anything I go reach him. You know?
Of course, of course. Yeah.
We are like the
matter who Bob
Apollo.
Marley
Me say,
is,
listen to me, man. We're not easy people. We were was in Commonwealth Games. Yeah, Commonwealth Games. And there was a little girl. She run, she qualify, she go out, do a good time. She's supposed to be running in the 4x100. But Jamaican people don't like that 4x100. Them like the 4x100 that was in Tokyo. The one that will win. You understand?
Yeah.
So new girl, she get a warm time. You understand?
Yeah.
Not fear.
Yeah, trust
'Cause
me.
she get to her like a
You say
word.
it right, it's tough. Because I lose so much all day. And it's like everybody's calling for my head. A lot of people chattering and I'm like, oh, these people. And then when I do show them who I am and do it again, my ego might take over and I might do something that I shouldn't do. Because it's tough. Because as I said, you put pressure on yourself, but it's also expectations and what you're capable of and you want to, what you know you want to do and who you want to do it for. But there's your family, your friends, and they come around and then, you know, the negativity is always around and you want to shut them up. That can either make you or break you.
I completely agree with
But
that.
I think I come from the old school.
Old
guys.
school.
Yeah, but the new school is most of them.
I'm getting them feelings.
Yeah.
We can't bother this put them work it or I'm not going to train into
Them quit easy. Them quit much
easy.
easier.
So
them
there's a
certain-
part of your brain which I've been studying for like the whole of my life in this thing, limbic cortical region. You're going to hear me talk about it all the while and people like that. There's a part of your brain that causes you to do. It thinks it's protecting you, it causes you to do stupid things, right? And I'll give you an example. And a friend of mine, Jason Sharp, Cafe Blue. Shout out to Cafe Blue Coffee. He just gave me the example this morning. We're talking. Tiger Woods' father. So when Tiger was young, you see if Tiger make a bad shot and it in the woods, and people wonder, how come you always make a good shot after the bad shot? Tiger Woods' father inculcated into him, get it into him head that is when you make a bad shot, that's the time you can show them who Tiger really is.
Yeah.
Hitting a ball down the fairway, it's easy. Everybody can do that. Show them who Tiger is.
Paint
after
a-
a bad
paint-
shot.
paint a better
So,
picture.
Yeah, paint a better picture. So it's
yeah.
like you with your example,
Yeah.
how the man you say go lose and
I
then
lose
now you
already.
come back, I beat off everybody face. You want to tell people go do all kind of things.
I'm going to show them. But
Yeah,
and all of that is in my mind working. And
Yeah.
I even so, touch on the next thing. People think ego is a bad thing. I think ego is a good thing.
No man.
People say, oh, you have too much ego. And
No,
like,
ego. Let me show you something.
ego is, to me,
Ego
without
is-
my ego,
Yo, ego is lovely if you
it's-
cultivate it properly.
precise,
Because
yeah.
there's a thing called killer.
yeah.
You see, you're saying?
Yeah, man.
You're saying there's a killer in
And
it.
I'm watching the interviews with him.
When
and
you
just
know,
think that-
yeah,
I try,
and
I
you
love it.
realize, now you realize how much of a killer him is,
Yeah.
right? You say, yo, was, sorry.
King still is. I don't think I come out there.
No, yeah,
Just in a different way, you know,
You're
right?
saying Bolt is just saying
Once
Bolt,
a
man.
great
legend.
white shark, always
When
a
the man
great-
goes so and do the thing, him say, oh yeah, though. And then him go do him own a put.
You man going to the lab.
No,
Yeah.
when you're saying done with that, you know, but come back and run, you know, stop, you know, run again after that.
Yeah,
you
him
know.
say, all right, I'm going to cancel all those things I'm supposed to
Yeah.
go to and fix things because this Olympics, I'm
Yeah.
going to show you. how
You,
great
you're
I
a
am.
killer. So
Yeah.
that is, It's a little ego, you know. You
You have
you
to have
step in
ego.
our mind. I creating legacy. So we're going to straighten you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so ego, no man.
Ego's
Ali
a part
had ego.
Yeah.
Right?
Jordan have ego.
What?
What? Oh, yeah.
Kobe have ego.
There-
You understand? So Kobe would say, you know, that these guys went into the NBA to make it to the NBA. So from them reach the NBA, them happy.
Yeah.
Kobe go to the NBA to be the number one player in the NBA. So
Yeah.
now stop work. You know?
Work
Fall
over-
short of it though, the MJ.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
He
MJ
gave
had
his
a,
art.
Oh no, he did.
He left it
did.
all on
Yeah,
the court.
yeah.
Plus more, so
Listen,
that's
and
how much you
in
can
Ja-
ask for.
And you talented in so much way. The Academy Award for the
Oscars, yeah.
for the basketball.
I love basketball,
Yeah, wow, you was wicked, man.
As I said, Michael Jordan, another killer.
What?
A killer learned from another killer. I'm serious. That ego thing, it's part of sports.
That is how you do it, you know. If you
I'm
nice guys, finish.
last.
All right.
yeah.
So
The ladies
you
can
can't,
tell you
you,
that
you,
too.
can't, you can't be bridging as soon as the thing done, you know.
Yeah, man.
Like my wife has said to me, big man, you can't play golf. I said, play which golf? You can't tackle nobody in a golf.
Yeah.
You know golf thing.
And
All right.
a lot of people don't look on the mental side of sports. They always see it's art. You go and play, or they kick a football or hit a ball over a net. But overall, what all great athletes have in common across all sports? Mental.
All
Mentality.
of them were warriors in the
Yeah.
mind.
So no matter your
It's
niche,
not try to teach
and you
the
don't have to
youth
be
them.
sports alone.
No.
It can be in your work
Life.
area, being an
Peak
electrical engineer.
Yeah.
I mean, being a clinical psychologist, you have to
Yeah.
have that it factor where, mentally you set your side. Not to say you compare yourself with others, but you push yourself to be like, all right, I'm gonna be one of the best to ever do this. And you want to feel accomplished within yourself.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up this segment, what's your take on the reggae boys? What's your
Yeah, you put me in a funny position, right? All right.
Ask for
they
better
played
question
a
than-
match?
Yeah, no,
they
they're
said,
playing
yeah.
a match. I mean, I spoke to coach, and we have a good conversation. I think the team can definitely qualify without question, right? One of the things when I help teams
Yeah.
is, you see, if you get a team and each individual player, right? If I was to say, focus on the worst, say a YouTube video of the worst table tennis you ever played, that going to help you?
No.
No, not at all. If I was to show you a YouTube video of the best table tennis matches you ever played, that going to help you?
Definitely.
Bingo. All right. So there was a youth, anyone ever see the movie Lone Survivor?
Yeah, I think I watched
Lone
it.
Survivor, Mark Wahlberg played the
sure.
person. I'm coming around to the question, but I'm going to show it to you this way. So there's a top sports psychologist called Nate Zinser at West Point. He trains Navy SEALs, one of the hardest, roughest military people. So when I test them, is your goggles is black, and you have to be in cold water, them heavy old tracksuit, like what Rocky did wear, the gray one. You have on that and the tank. And you have 3 chances to pass the test, right? At some point, you're going to be down there without oxygen for 60 seconds. And the guys are going to have flipped you and do all kind, and they're going to take the mouthpiece out, and this assembly and put it at the bottom of the pool. You've been practicing at the top of the pool how to put it back together. Your job is to manage your mind. Don't freak out, push off at the bottom to go to the top to catch your ear, right? And if you do that, you failed. So you them that Nate and them train, generally pass it in 2. They're down there, them put the thing back together, them breathing. Guy pass the test, Navy SEAL, go to Afghanistan, supposed to be taking out some Taliban leaders, and 4 goat herders, 4 women pass and see them, go back and tell the Taliban where they were. Taliban come the night, shoot all 4 of them. You remember it? So they shoot all 4 of them, 3 of them dead. The person that Mark Wahlberg played, he didn't die. Fell from must about 100 foot, broke him leg, broke him arm, broke up all them ribs. So to go back to the positive, negative thinking, would negative thinking help him there?
No.
Negative thinking never help you no time at all. Would positive thinking help him there?
Definitely.
Kind of.
Yeah, well.
Kind of.
give
If
him
him sit
hope.
down and say, I'm a good man,
No.
the Marine them soon come and get me. Yeah, John Kroger pick out your eyeball.
Yeah.
You understand? What you need is what they call neutral thinking. What do I need to do in this moment to win this moment? And he took a stick and he put it in the ground and he would pull himself till where the hole was, feet was, and then him do that. 7 3/4 miles he did that. And him get to safety. He's alive now and he speaks at West Point. So to come back to the story of the team, you're asking about Reggae Boys. When I help in a team, right? I said to you, if you see the video of the worst, that I help you now. If you see the video of the best, that I help. I said to them, visualize your best performance. All coach need you for do is your best. Everybody doing them best, then we're playing. I did the EMD. Remember when I was in we played Copa and Nations League, and them have the video of Greg Lee saying, I was in Dr. Hamilton's office. I did the EMDR session, which is eye movement desensitization response. It's just a visualization technique, neuro-linguistic. I get them to relax and then see themselves. So I make it score 10 perfect pass, 10 perfect tackle, 10 perfect shot. And then you do it over and over. So what you're doing now is you're telling that part of the brain, which I say is what does performance. You tell the subconscious, this is what I want you to do.
Yeah.
This is what I want you to do when I touch my foot on the grass. And he did it. 1 minute into the game, he scored a goal. Almost win. Pulshek take the corner and it hit off a Corey Burke and the rest.
1-1 overtime.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to go back to this whole thing, I would have liked to be able to get the man them to see their best and then just do them best for Coach Steve McLaren.
Okay. So right now, your next move, which you're working with a team now or just individuals?
I work with all kind of teams and
Yeah.
individuals.
So what's your next big
Working at Boys and Girls Champs?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's where you give to Jamaica. So I'm a part of the Jamaica Association of Sports Medicine. So I'm down here early for that. If Shaq coming into Miami this week, I have to go up back to Miami and then come back. But I'm here to work for the champs.
All
That's
right.
a big thing that comes.
Yeah, I know Champs big.
Yeah, man.
We know to say,
Yeah,
we know to
yeah.
say, yeah, man, the
But
foot.
you know
Yeah,
how
them
very-
don't know. And the only people who are good at, me's a big Titchfield man,
Yeah.
so don't get it wrong. But
Yeah.
the whole of my
Yeah.
my whole of my family, I'm my grandfather, my grandmother go JC, everybody go JC, right? So, but
Same here.
at the past common entrance for Kingston College, you didn't know the story.
You tell
Let me
us
tell you
your
the story.
story, but I
My
don't know
father
what
said, before I say, yeah man, good, you pass, I want you to line go road you over. So, the only school that can touch up your nerve this year in your 100th celebration. Remember, I'm tell you, say, in your
You see that? What you say? You repeated
Wait, predict.
EMDR. EMDR.
Yeah.
You want to see me come on back on the show?
How they visualize the winning one? We know
Oh, you don't have visualize?
No, the team.
Oh, the team. Yeah, right.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good,
And this
good.
is our 100th anniversary, so we're
Yeah, I
going,
know.
we're going
So
to fix things.
Not
It's a
with,
big year.
not with nice like pop up your Dalios in a the 100 year.
Would be nice, but
Would be
not
nice.
how.
Nearly never kill a bird. Yeah.
But it should be a good.
It's going to be a
interesting
good champ.
Yeah, man. As usual, Champs is
Yeah.
a big event, and that's starting next week. We'll talk about that later on in the show as well. But I mean, good to
Yeah.
hear from you, Dr. Hamilton.
Congrats on your achievements,
Ah,
man.
man, bless.
Congrats.
You know, you're part of the
You
Primal.
know
Yeah.
someone coming from where man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
One
man.
thing for sure.
Primal
for
are the number one, man.
sure.
Don't play around.
Primal is vital.
Yeah. So remember, I'm looking forward
Oh,
to
to the
Akeem,
Akeem
the
Alive.
dream.
Even Shaq.
So
You're somebody.
you can give us Shaq
Shaq.
as well.
Shaq
Don't,
big.
don't,
But you know,
don't, edit that out of the video. There, I'm Shaq about said, like you give my second. Shaq said, I'm the most dominant ever in the NBA.
And I 100% support that.
Yeah.
I think Shaq is the most
Dominant for
dominant.
sure.
You remember when Shaq's grandfather is Jamaican, you know?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So there was a time when, a long time I know Shaq, man, nearly 25 years. When Shaq was young, Shaq all tried to finger roll like
Dr.
Magic.
J.
Yeah,
and
Dr.
Dr. J. Yeah.
And father just go up on the court and grab it up and say, "What? Where the man? I just disalone you for doing it."
Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
man.
that became him.
Yeah, man, for real. All right, so
All right, Jen.
Dr. Scott Hamilton, thanks as usual for passing through. And all the best for the future. You know.
Yeah, it's coming. All
Yeah,
right,
man.
it's
Thank you
coming.
very much.
Higher heights.
All right, you people, that was,
Dr. Scott
Yeah,
Hamilton.
man.
I mean, we had two interesting interviews. One
yeah.
from a clinical psychologist, Dr. Scott Hamilton, talking about
Yeah.
the mental side of Sports Plus. I mean, his IOC journey.
So, Ken, you know what I'm going to do, right? We're going to Barbados in just about maybe 3 weeks' time.
You carry with you?
If possible. We'll probably need some guidance from the people,
I want to
from the
talk
senior
Atlantic
players.
Electrical and see-
But overall, I'll be banning all cell phones. And I'm
You
making
want-
this
hold on,
public.
the
I'm
parents
making
go-
no, I'm
the
making this
parents go have
public
it.
right here in prime. No.
parents go have it.
No.
It's not going to have that.
They're gonna have to sign to it. And
But they're not
I've,
going to
I've been
sign?
having discussions with the,
That
with
is
the,
the
parent,
reason why I
with the
said-
parents and the students about it.
These times are different from.
Well, Ken, if
all the
if they
times.
want to,
Mentally
if they want to make
they
that
want
trip,
Do they want to?
they cannot come with a phone. Yeah.
They're going to carry the phones.
No,
And you're going to have
no.
it?
Yeah.
I think leave the phones in Jamaica.
Wait,
That's the only safe way.
waiting.
That's
They're gonna
crazy.
Get back the phones
That's
when
crazy.
they
No,
reach.
that's crazy.
100% agree with you.
That's
Leave the
crazy.
phones in Jamaica.
That's
Anybody
very.
wants to contact them,
This
contact
is
you.
a big distraction, you know.
Yeah.
If the parents want to talk to their kids, they talk through you.
And first
They
of
call
all,
you don't have your phone.
right now, it was from last year, say it was the road to Barbados, right? And every single one of these kids want to win. So if I convince them and I tell them and I can show them the proof how destructive this can be,
So you're gonna do that
I
for the
think
seniors
they will be happy to leave it at
You
home.
go do that for the seniors as well?
I might have to do that.
I'll
Because-
gladly give them my phone. Take my phone. Take my phone.
Yes. Yeah.
Certain time you're allowed to just check your phone.
Yeah. Give them a 15 minutes. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But you see leave it in Jamaica thing out here, my people.
All right.
Please,
That's
please,
it. That
when my
advice.
time come and take my phone.
All right. No problem.
I don't have a problem with it.
All
I'll
right,
leave the
people,
charge.
you know what time it is? It's time for the controversial one.
Greetings, Men in Blue. Men in Blue. I didn't get the memo on the color change, so greetings. You guys been watching the Miami Open? Has anybody been watching the Miami Open tennis tournament? I
Medvedev.
told you guys that Alcaraz would not have a long and dominant career. I wonder if you guys remember I was saying to you that Alcaraz's game is not set up for a long and dominant career. Alcaraz is already out. Round of 64.
Medvedev is out as well.
Yeah, but Alcaraz we're focusing on. Medvedev time is soon coming. But already Alcaraz is out. Djokovic is still in Tsitsipas, perhaps. But I mean,
But Tsitsipas is your player now, right?
he's my new player. Yeah,
He ain't
I saw
going
him in
anywhere.
Dubai. I saw him in Dubai, and I'm convinced that this is probably the one of the.
The next coming.
Yeah, I don't know if when Sinner come out for the why man Klobetal, I don't know if Sinner is suddenly going to get back to his usual standard. But you guys, have you observed a guy from Australia who is supposed to be the next Bolt? Goat is actually ran a 20-second 200 the other day, and actually went below 20 seconds.
We need it.
Except that the wind was 35 meters per second. Most of the spectators ended up at the finish line before him. That's how powerful the breeze was. But who really feel that Goat going to be the next Usain Bolt? I feel that Goat Bolt is older than people say he is. I believe that, and this happened with Nigeria, a lot of African countries do not register births at the birth stage. And I feel that Goat is an older man. Why are Goat's pictures so unflattering? Have you guys noticed every picture of Goat have him mouth wide open with and all this kind of, I'm not saying it's a conspiracy, but surely his mouth closed at some point of the race. The man mouth is open, his hairline is receding in his young teens. I believe that Goat is older than we think, and that explains his times. I don't think Goat is the next Usain Bolt. And when Goat is running, I wish he would close his mouth. You know, that's just my feeling. No, other than that, no. Jamaica, first of all, rest in peace, George Foreman. One of the great boxers of all time has quit early. I think 76 years old. It's sad to see Big George go, because I remember when George Foreman came on the scene, what an ominous boxer he was. He would just be swinging these very awkward left-right punches, and then you just wilt in front of him. Funny enough, in Kinshasa, Zaire, who remembers when Muhammad Ali invented the rope-a-dope, slung the rope and leaned back and withstood every blow from George Foreman until Foreman could throw no more and then got tired in about round 11 or 12. Scott, only you and me old enough to remember. And then Muhammad scored the most unlikely victory of all time, which made him the greatest of all time. And he couldn't have been the greatest of all time without a man like George Foreman.
Yeah.
George Foreman then became, his personality changed from being a dour, unhappy, unfriendly guy to suddenly becoming Uncle George. And then he started to sell grill and all kind of things. George Foreman became a part of American folklore. His personality changed. And so we're going to miss George. So rest in peace, George Foreman. No, who watched Jamaica? Sorry, I'm going really fast, people. Who watched Jamaica play a football match against St. Vincent? St. who? St. Vincent. I couldn't even find St. Vincent on the map. 2 times I tried and I ended up in St. Kitts and the Grenadines and Mauritius. All these other. Yeah, couldn't find St. Vincent. St. Vincent have a population of 100,000. When the football team left, the population was 99,000 and so on. It's a disgrace to know that St. Vincent played against Jamaica and draw 1-1, but for the fact that they were awarded a almost dubious 97-minute penalty. And to make matters worse, let me go on about St. Vincent. Because they had to get permission from the police force to let some police out to play. Some teachers couldn't teach that day and all this kind of thing. I played against Jamaica.
Leon Bailey.
Yeah, with legendary professional players. It is said that the salary of Leon Bailey is bigger than the entire budget of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. St. Vincent and the Grenadines have 3 public toilets, 1 in the town and 1 in the school. And they managed to tie 1-1 with Jamaica. My goodness me. I think it is time. And here it is. I try not to be controversial. But the coach has got to go. Come on, guys. McLaren is clueless. Jamaica, with 6 minutes to go, the defense was playing around at the back, passing the ball at the back. Passing the ball around at the back. Instead of coming forward with 4 minutes to go, the defense is not creative. They are a pack of cowards. I'm sorry, they are not going to get no more free ticket to the stadium. But let me tell you something. I watched Cavalier play football 2 weeks in a row. Cavaliers football looks better organized than Jamaica. And I'm going to make one more statement. Time for a homegrown technical director. Perhaps Rudolph Speed could come and help us to organize a cohesive brand of thing there. And if I was Kaheem Dixon, I would never take another call up for Jamaica. Let me tell you the truth. I would never take a call up for Jamaica. You know, there was a time when Jamaica needed me, and I got a call from the Ministry of Sport. Come and help out the guys. You know, and I would do that, you know, because, you know, Kane and them struggling. They need the big man inside the thing. So I got a call. It wasn't Babsy. I think it was Portia was the Prime Minister. Come and help out the lads. Imran Khan got a call from Prime Minister Benazir Ali Bhutto to come and help out the lads. India was beating Pakistan. That's the kind of call that get me out of retirement. You know what I mean, Scott? People, when you get these big calls, we need the big man. I will come and play. But if I was Kaheem Dixon, I would never play for Jamaica again under McLaren. I see another guy from Anic Gardens get a game, big deal. The point I'm making is that the team needs an incisive, bustling, aggressive forward. Jamaica don't have it. Jamaica, where is your sting? Where's your power? We played against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They had to play in yellow because they couldn't even buy enough shorts for the full team to play in St. Vincent national colors. It's a disgrace, man. All right, so now I've got it out of my system. I can just say now that I have one little complaint about the game. Women referees. The women gonna get vexed with me. I'm making a lot of enemies this show, you know, Scott. But what was an all-female crew doing running the match? That goal was not necessarily offside. Jamaica kick a ball in the goal. Very weak. Went past the keeper. I think it was near the end of the first half or just at the start. It looked like a goal to me, you know. I couldn't see why it was ruled offside. And when I look, I saw some ladies. They were nice. They probably came from Guatemala. And they were umpiring the match. Can you leave a grade A match to a bunch of ladies who probably don't have full understanding? I don't want to appear sexist. But it was a woman crew, all-woman crew. I don't know that the women were best suited at this time. I think more time should be dedicated to women. I'm all for equality. And so I better cut this segment while I stand a
Yes, I
chance.
think you should
And now I'm going to make one more set of enemies. Pickleball. What is pickleball? Is pickleball a sport? I go watch pickleball up at Barbican Field the other day, and I saw the most unathletic, and I'm being complimentary, people playing the sport. Kane, do not go and play pickleball. Pickleball is not a sport. Scott, is pickleball a sport? I watch people playing this creative thing called pickleball. To me, I have seen more elegance in sumo wrestlers. I think that elephants are more graceful than the people I see playing pickleball. It's to me, it is like watching one day on the internet, fat people porn. You know what I mean? He's watching. This is what pickleball look like to me. I don't think pickleball is a sport. That's sports commentary. What say you?
Whoa. Disclaimer, people. Those are the views of the controversial boss and the controversial boss alone.
Yes. St. Vincent, you know, he's just a little troll, you know.
People don't play controversial boss.
Please,
Anyway.
yes.
I see why Peter wanted to wear red today. Come on, firing.
Yeah.
Blazing. Wearing blue, we're calm and cool, but Peter had plans today. Peter created at least, a million enemies a while ago.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, I don't even know where to start or where Peter leave off, but
Yeah, obviously it was a disappointing match for
It was a
in the eyes
disappointing
of
result.
many. In the eyes of many.
gentle people, the second leg will be on the March 25th, 7 p.m. Tuesday at Sabina Park, where the Reggae Boys will try to turn things around and win that fixture after a 1-1 draw in St. Vincent last night. And the Reggae Boys fielded a strong team of Andre Blake in goal, Amari Bell, Richard King, your new
Richard King, Richard King, good baller.
Lemby Kisa, Ethan Pinnock, Liam Bailey, Isaac Hayden, Bobby Reed, Demar Gray, Sule McCalla, and Shamar Nicholson.
All right, so
Shamar Nicholson Bowser. And to me, that is one of the strongest lineups we can offer at hand right now. I mean, hopefully, we will talk about Mason Greenwood in the past. I mean, Maggie was on the bench.
Kaim was on the bench
Karim
as
was on
well.
the bench, but overall,
Latibody was on the bench.
what we have available. I mean, who's missing?
Lati.
Latibody was missing from the team.
Who's on the bench?
He's on the bench, but missing from the start line. But overall,
Oh,
that's a
What-
strong starting
What
line.
about
for
the
Jamaica.
positioning of the players? Bobby Reed went right back up into midfield.
Number 10.
As usual, yeah.
Right back
Yeah,
up.
that's, him play that. But overall, what we're accustomed to, this is a strong Jamaican
Set of
output.
individuals.
Yes.
What we have available.
Yeah, it's a strong individually. Yeah, good.
We played to a 1-1 draw last night, scoring a 98-minute penalty from Leon Bailey after going down 1-0 in the 65th minute with a goal by Olex Anderson.
Yeah.
And obviously that was a poor result. And moving forward, we have to do better.
Yeah,
I remember last week I
I'm
said
saying
with the percentage of
the form
probability of winning, of going to the World Cup,
is very
I
low.
think it diminished with that result.
Yeah.
And
I wish where Panama is improving, and personally, I think these guys need to the coaching staff. I think them have to reshuffle things. I don't think the players. I think the better players need to play in a more defensive role. You know, I want Bobby Reed playing wing back.
I don't think defense is much of a problem. No. It's getting
I-
goals
You can't get goals if you can't transition
from defense.
from defense to offense. You know that.
So
and-
that's more in the middle of the park now.
Yeah, but we still need we need skillful players playing in a defensive area of the field. Richard King is a good one. I think Bobby Reed should finally play his natural position as a wing back. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, and shift up the midfield some more. You know, but if you look back at, as I said, if you look back at the Reggae Boys.
For this 1-1 draw, almost a loss.
And why is Kaim Dixon not getting any run?
That's tough. That's tough for me as well. Kaim Dixon been doing well locally.
Yeah.
Got a contract now in England playing Charlton, doing well over there. We know what he's capable of, and we see
He's a
where
goal shark.
he's not the finished product, but yet still he's hungry I see that hunger kind of diminishing in his eyes when I see him come on the pitch and playing. Time and time again, he seems to be wavering.
How would you
less
feel?
interested.
Of course, how would you feel? You're traveling all this way and then you come on in the 90th minute.
He's one of our
As
top
a
talents.
young a goal shark, as a goal shark.
Warner Brown went on ahead of him, a local bass player.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if it's a case where
Yeah,
I
of
don't
course.
know. I don't know if it's a case where
And I'm hungry.
McLaren prefers a tall centre forward in Shamar Nicholson. I mean, Shamar Nicholson has been doing.
Shamar is okay, but
he's okay enough,
I
but
think it's Kaim time. You know?
I think it's time to mix and match and try something. Cause what you're doing right now not working.
Yeah, not
Maybe
definitely.
Kaim Dixon is. Cephas came on, made couple runs, got the penalty. But overall, I grade his performance out of 10. I grade his performance -3.
Yeah.
There's no way we can get a positive performance from this. We're at the stage we're at, with the professionals we have, what we're looking to do, trying to qualify for World Cup. This is basically the World Cup year.
Yeah, it is.
World Cup is what, 2026? There's no World Cup if we don't perform this year.
Yeah.
So this is our World Cup here. This is where we are looking. This is World Cup for us. These performances is going forward. We have to fix things. And I mean, is it right now to change our coach again? Probably not. But
Yeah, time is against us. Even though
we have talented players, but
Peter Choate a name still, and he's fairly close to the team. So if they're going to make a switch, he's the man for the job in my eyes right now.
If you were with us, would you take the job?
Of course. I make a name for myself.
Go back to Cavaliers
Carrying the team to World Cup, of
and
course.
then after World Cup, you go back to
Yeah, because this is the easiest time we'll ever have to qualify for the World Cup, you know.
I think it's still hard.
So Rudolph, if Rudolph take over now, I think he'll definitely take the job if it's offered to him.
I mean, and I'm looking at the pitch yesterday and I'm watching the match. And I'm saying,
Cricket
none
pitch.
of these players could get into the 98 World Cup squad. World Cup team.
Andre Blake.
Probably Andre Blake. But we had a good keeper.
Over Warren Barrett?
Mr. Grid will not never play yesterday. I'm talking to the team that we put out yesterday. I mean, they need to step up in every area of the field.
Yeah.
All these playing professional football somewhere in the world. As I said, we can go to Liam Bill, Aston Villa, Bobby Reid, Premier League again.
Leicester.
I mean, Shamar Nicholson have been playing all
Mexico.
across. He's playing in Mexico now. He played in France, Russia, all over. I mean,
Isaac is in
Wait.
Isaac used to play for Newcastle.
Newcastle. Still in England.
I mean, come on.
Pinnock is in England.
Before we dive into
Bernard
this,
is in England.
I want to hear Froggy take. Froggy in 5.
I don't even know if it started, to be honest. But I'll start. I will start. So people, we have a little group, and in the group, I mentioned that Jamaica is going to defeat St. Vincent 2-1. And a person said to me, 2-1? They have bus drivers and conductors.
You can call him, you can call him.
Joel, Latin. Is Joel?
Yeah, Joel.
Joel Bouillon.
Tell us what you
Yeah,
said.
Joel. Joel said bus drivers and conductors and nurses and women who sweep the street. And I go get Jamaica 2-1. And I said, these guys are going to come at Jamaica hard. They're going to let us play at a cricket pitch. And that is it.
But you said they played as a unit though. You can see they have to spend time together and play together. And that's what we're lacking.
Hold on.
Time together.
Give me the monologue. Luckily, I said to him that I'm being cautious. Luckily, I don't tell him it's 1-0 we're going to get. And we're down 1-0 until the 90 plus 7 minutes. Before the match, I think a couple of days before, the coach took the team to Bob Marley Museum. I don't know why. I don't know why would you take the Jamaica team to Bob Marley Museum. I say it's for bonding and to know their heritage. No disrespect to Bob Marley. Don't disrespect to the museum, but what will the museum teach these guys? What visiting the museum will teach these guys? Was this really about bringing the team to the museum, or was it about bringing the coach to the museum? Because I must the coach.
A British player.
A British player said, oh, this is Bob Marley Museum. Because in my eyes, I'm saying I need to carry them to the heart of football in Jamaica. Carry them going to a jungle, down a Tivoli, down a Waterhouse, down a Flankers, Narbrook, I'm not Narbrook in a Kingston. Narbrook, Montego Bay, Salt Springs, Spanish Town, Tarspen, Harbour View. Carry them where football is. I mean, I don't want to carry them in the day, carry them in the night.
Why you want to care about it?
When they hear some card, when they
No.
realize this is what you're playing for. Let them see the people. When they carry them, go.
I understand.
No man.
I
When they
understand
carry-
what
when they
Frankie's
carry them,
saying.
go hide them up in the museum. No, nobody
Yeah,
knows
yeah,
see
yeah.
them. Nobody know them. Don't know what they're playing for.
You know, when most foreigners come here, they don't want the nice places. They want to go in the heart of the country.
Carry them to heart. Carry them down in the garage. So far, garrison, so them can realize these are English-based players. They don't understand the culture. They don't understand Jamaica. They don't understand why we are the way we are. Why the Jamaican public is so hard to please. You are in the country as a national team. The national team should have been at one of those JPL games. Walking like regular people, pay your money, pay your $1,500 and sit in the stands and watch the game. Watch, no man, watch.
Not pay, but watch. Yeah.
Watch a JPL game. Last week, I think Tuesday, Waterhouse and Veer faced the encounter. 2 red cards, 3 yellow cards.
Yeah. War on the pitch.
War on the field. I don't say that is Jamaica, but that is Jamaica's football. A lot of passion in the football. Let them see what we are playing for. Let them see what the people is about. These guys don't understand. I'm looking at the
Think that will
stats.
help them?
Why not? I'm looking at the stats right now in CONCACAF. How is it that Ethan Pinnock had the most passes? 105 passes. A defender. Who is next to him? Richard King, 75. Who is next to him? Amari Bell, 59. And who is next to him?
So playing from the back.
Lembesika, 41. What I'm saying, we are
We're playing
passing.
against St. Vincent.
St. Vincent, Peter.
We're
The
playing defensive football.
highest pass off the ball in the midfield was probably Bobby Reed at 40.
Yeah.
How that makes sense? Are you supposed to be creating passes? You're supposed to be creating plays. What we are do?